About a week ago, I did a video about how Japan is getting poorer and Germany has become richer than Japan by going for large-scale immigration. A lot of anti-immigration Germans came out of the woodwork to say that they would rather be poor than be replaced. Now look, I'm not going to fall into the liberal trap of making fun of these people or calling them stupid. I think it's a valid opinion, and they have the right to vote on how the future of this country goes. But I'm also not entirely convinced that everybody knows exactly what being poorer means. Okay, let's start with Japan. You might think Japan's not doing so bad, their currency's just fallen a little bit. And it's true, but they've been maintaining their quality of life with massive amounts of debt. Japan has the highest debt to GDP ratio of any developed country. And when that comes knocking, the picture in Japan is going to look bleak. Oh, by the way, a bit of fun news related to this. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, right-wing, very anti-immigration campaign, just announced 500,000 non-EU work visas because, spoiler alert, Italy is in one of the worst shapes as far as population pyramids go. The reason that Italy's population pyramid is so bad is because even educated Italians don't want to stay in Italy because it's poor, relative to the countries they go to like Germany. Now, a few years ago I used to speak to a lot of Germans about the future of Germany. And I used to say that soon they're going to need to start spending money on a military. And if you're German, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They used to say Germany doesn't need a military. Europe is peaceful. And to me, it seemed like they were out of touch with the world. And that soon, Big Daddy America is going to pull out of Europe, China and Russia are going to want a seat at the table, and that's going to conflict with Europe's status quo. They told me I was making up improbable scenarios, yet here we are, 5 years later, with Germany making the biggest military buildup since World War II, funding it almost entirely through debt, America's pulling out of Europe, and the Russians are right at the door. Coming back to my point, immigration isn't simply about being a little bit richer. It's not about affording that Gucci bag. It affects everyone at a more fundamental level. Becoming poor means losing free healthcare, losing high-quality education, losing being able to defend your interests at home and abroad. We'll start to see the effects of this in Japan within 10 years and in Korea and many parts of Europe within 15. Especially the countries that didn't go for immigration. Things that Europeans today take for granted will soon become financially impossible. For everything happening in the world, it's certainly not boring. Until next time.